Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Stone Age Gamer. Tonight is episode 27. We have returned from our brief hiatus. With me, as always, are Tiff.
Hi.
Dean.
Diaper.
And Dan.
Diaper? What the fuck? Okay.
Weird. Yes, and I'm Chris. I'm your host for the evening. Back in my new house. In fact, 3/4 of this podcast are in new locations. I have moved. Dan and Tiff have moved.
To our secret underground lair.
Mm-hmm.
Dean has moved in his mind.
I refuse to move anywhere.
At the very least in his chair.
At the very least, yes.
No. Actually, since we stopped recording last week, I've sat here and done nothing but waited.
Covered in
Thanksgiving.
sores. It's disgusting.
Ew.
He had a hell of a Thanksgiving, yeah. All right, so it is the first week of the month, and that means that we're going to go ahead and talk about we're going to talk about our favorite games of the previous month. So we're going to talk about our November Game of the Month options. And then we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to do our little 60-second wrap-up like we did last month, and call it a night. So that's the itinerary for the evening. Strap yourselves in, seat backs and tray tables, and tip your stewardess and all sorts of other jazz. Just to get it out of the way, myself and Tiff are just a tad under the weather, so there might be a few coughs throughout the course of the episode. Do not adjust your podcasters. No podcasters. You're not going crazy. We're just kind of sick. So, but you already knew that. Ho ho. Okay, let's kick this thing off. Yeah, I know. I'm hysterical. I take 2 weeks off.
This one's off to a cracking good start.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's get this thing on the road properly and start with Tiff. What was your favorite game of November?
Well, first of all, I have some very exciting news to share with our listeners. The Mister and I obtained ourselves a Wii U over the break. So, woohoo! So my favorite game of the month thus far has been Nintendo Land, which really, really surprises me because I thought that it was going to be just the dumb throw it in the box so they have something to play right away game, and it just, I thought that this is going to be just another one of the stupid little mini games like, the Wii Sports nonsense and all that, and it was kind of a throwaway, and I'm actually really, really enjoying myself. The mini games, I think, are very unique and are utilizing the control system of the Wii U really, really well. The Yoshi's game, I think in particular, illustrates kind of the remarkable things that you can do with the new technology. It's a game where you have to get from one side of the screen to the other, and there's various obstacles in your way. But the trick of it is that on your television, you see your starting point and your ending point and all of the obstacles in the way and all of the things you have to collect along the way. Like you're going to walk around on a board that's got some holes in it, and Yoshi needs to pick up some fruit as he gets there. And how you get him from one side to the other is you draw a line from your starting point to your ending point on your gamepad. Except on the gamepad, none of the items or obstacles or any of those things are on the screen. So you have to, I mean, it's almost like 8th grade typing class again. You have to watch the screen and move the stylus on the gamepad, not knowing where everything is, so that once you hit the start button, Yoshi will follow the path that you have traced for him and hopefully not fall in a hole and pick up all of the objects. And it's just so cleverly done, and I found myself, I was just going to pop it in real quick and play one or two of these little games and go to bed, and I found myself tracing that little dinosaur across the board for like an hour and a half.
That game is devilish.
It's just, I'm just so excited. It's so awesome, and the games are challenging and they're interesting, so they're holding my attention, but at the same time, they're still very cute and accessible, so my kids are really going to be into it. We haven't showed it to them yet. We're not going to show it to them until Christmas because we're awesome parents and opened the Christmas gift early. But
we had to make sure everything worked.
That's true. That's true. That would have been really disappointing if we had opened it up on Christmas morning and
the mailman could have damaged
That's true. That's very true. You're right. So we're doing the right thing, the noble thing, really.
We're the best parents.
Yeah.
Well, you got to get all those system updates out of the way.
That's true. That did take a
while.
while.
That took like 4 hours.
Oh, it didn't take 4 hours.
I know. The initial system update on the Wii U was bug nuts, man.
That was goddamn brutal. I was like, I'm really excited. I'm going to play Mario Kart 8. I'm really excited. No, I'm not. I'm going to play this tomorrow. I have to go to bed.
To be fair, we did get it really late, so there were several updates along the way that we had to get all at once. But I'm just really, really surprised at how much I'm enjoying it. But what I was trying to say is that my kids will still be very engaged and still be excited to play these little mini games. They're not too long. Given the right circumstances, they're not too difficult that it wouldn't be something that they could play with us. Certainly something that we can do together to be able to help them out. And that's kind of the other great thing about how most of the games control, because there's stuff on the pad and stuff on the TV. It's really, really easy to kind of play them all together and help the kids along while not being bored out of our minds or cute overloaded ourselves. So definitely I don't know that I'd necessarily pay full video game prices for it, but if it wasn't in your bundle and you can find it reasonably priced, I would definitely recommend a pickup. I'm really, really enjoying it as a casual. I have 15 minutes to sit down and pick up the game and play it. And especially since so much of it you can take with you on the pad, I'm finding that really convenient as well to be able to kind of follow the kids throughout the house. Would be really nice to be able to take it with me. I'm just really, really enjoying it.
There's a bundle for this game out there that comes with a Wii remote for $50. So it's a Wii Remote Plus and Nintendo Land for $50. It is a darn good deal. Have you played the Donkey Kong one?
The Donkey Kong one is awesome, but very frustrating.
Yeah, that game is, oh my god.
To sort of explain it, it's sort of like, I hesitate to say a Rube Goldberg because it's not quite that imaginative, but along those lines, you're in a vertical maze. And the parts that the mazes are made up of sort of look like the platforms in the Donkey Kong game, the original Donkey Kong game. And you have to get from one side of the board to the other to rescue the princess. And there's all kinds of gears and cogs and levers and pulleys and different things you have to do. Like for some things you have to push buttons to release levers. There's elevators that you actually have to blow into the mic to power the elevator to lift your little cart up. And what you are 3 wheels and 3 springs attached together in a triangle.
And you're incredibly fragile.
Incredibly fragile. You have to slide down all of these things and go on these, try and follow the path. But if you hit anything a tiny bit too fast, if you have the wrong momentum, if you bounce off of something, you will flip over and explode. Because apparently you are made out of explosives. And while that is very upsetting, it's also very addictive. There's certainly been studies on these kind of repetitive games, Flappy Bird and the like, but it really sucks you in no matter how angry you get at it. But it's very, very imaginative. And what's cool about the Donkey Kong one is that one uses the gamepad, but as a motion controller. So as you're sliding down all of the paths, you actually have to tilt and turn your gamepad in order to get through these things. So it's really neat in kind of using the different, you got to slide it to the left, but you also have to push the button so that the lever falls down at the right time. They've just, I think even more so than the Wii, they have really utilized the functionality of the technology.
Well, and the really frustratingly addictive part of that game, at least, because that's one of the few that I played on there, is that it's deceptively simple, right? Very, very similar to the spirit of a game like Flappy Bird.
Yeah, you look at that and you go, I can totally do this.
I know exactly what I need
totally
to do, and then God damn it, I blew up again. And look, there's my little ghost.
Oh yeah,
and
that's the best part of it.
And look,
the whole thing
he's
is
going to blow up right
over...
there. Because that's where I blew up.
Yeah, the whole thing is placed over a chalkboard. So as you go through it every time, similar to, what was that, Super Meat Boy, when you would clear a level, it would show you all of the...
Yeah.
It's similar to that. So after you start going through it, there is a chalk outline behind you that goes through it also. And to watch yourself get to the same spot and blow up every time just before you get to that spot and blow up is maddening. But really, really fun at the same time, inexplicably. There are a few games on there that I haven't played because there are a couple that you have to, they're obligate 2-player. There's no way to play it just by yourself. And as we are in the middle of a crazy move, we have not been able to locate our Wiimotes. So I am looking forward to finding the box that those are in, wherever that might be, and actually being able to play the last 3 games that have to be 2-player, because it looks like a lot of fun. The one of them that I'm particularly looking for, I've been advised, is the Mario Chase.
Oh, that game's so good.
Colloquially known as Catch the Asshole, apparently. So I'm looking forward to playing that one, but that will have to come whenever we find our Wiimotes.
I'm also kind of excited to see what else is in that box. I mean, we found
the box of Wiimotes?
Yeah, we found all the other video game stuff, and I know we still have the Wiimotes, so where the hell are they? I'm excited.
Okay.
It's the joys of moving, kids.
What's it? The Mario Chase? The Mario Chase game is amazing. The Luigi's Mansion one is really fun, but they're best enjoyed with 4 or 5 people. Like, they're pretty cool 2-player, but the more people you have involved, the better they are. They're just outstanding.
We're definitely going to play the Luigi's one with the kids, because Katie thinks Luigi's Mansion is the greatest thing that's ever happened in the whole wide world, second maybe only to Pikmin.
The Pikmin one's pretty good, too.
She's really into the booze, and she's just really, really into Luigi and his Ghosty Mansion, so we'll probably play that, all 4 of us.
That's excellent. All right, let's move on to Dean. Dean, what was your game of November?
Rollercoaster Tycoon 3.
And
What?
moving on.
I really like roller coasters.
I built lots of spinny ones.
They go fast.
Did you kill anybody?
No, actually, I didn't kill anybody. Really, what happened was I was bored one day. One of my friends was over, and I was like, you want to play a video game? And she was like, okay, what game? And I'm staring at everything, and I see I have Rollercoaster Tycoon 3 Platinum, and I've never played it. There were 0 hours played, and I was like, fuck it, I'll install it. I played the original one when I was a kid, and I figured I might as well just play this one. What does it hurt? I was very happy. Not gonna lie, that awesomeness of building a theme park doesn't fade at all. It's a lot of fun watching all the rides spin and everything, building gigantic roller coasters and whatnot. It's cool, like, managing staff, the little simulation specs that you get in that game. Coolest part to this one was the fact that you get sort of like a zoo option in this, where you can add animals and whatnot. You can have a zookeeper, a water park.
You make Animal Kingdom?
Sorta, and a SeaWorld if you want too, which was pretty neat.
Nice. Can you also get your own little tiny documentary film crew to go in SeaWorld?
No.
And expose your lies?
No, nothing like that. This is
see,
this is the kid version.
I'm really looking for a more immersive simulation game.
Well, I was thinking about it. There hasn't been a Roller Coaster Tycoon game or any sort of theme park game in a really long time where you can build anything like that. Last one that came out that I could remember was for the Nintendo DS, and it was pretty bare bones as far as, what the original was. So going back to this and playing it, I really enjoyed. I think I spent a good 4 or 5 hours just playing. And it's $20, really. Like, if you want something that you can, like a cool simulation game, something a little different than just building a city, or a lot of the really boring ones that are out now, like Farming Simulator and Train Simulator, like
Goat Simulator.
Whoa! Train Simulator's awesome.
Look, just regardless.
Railroad Tycoon.
Rollercoaster Tycoon was like one of the ones that started it all. That game is an OG, like certified, gone through the trials and tribulations of games, and that is a great game by all means. And I would recommend anyone to download it, because the specs on it aren't really all that high either. So I'm sure most modern day laptops can run that now. And it's just so much fun to play. Like, it brought back a lot of really great memories about playing that game. And it still has all the fun parts that you remember. You could build your own roller coaster. In fact, on this one, you can ride the ride after you're done building it, which is pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Does it, like, through a first-person
mode?
mode?
Yeah. You sit in the roller coaster
cool.
and everything. And the other thing that I thought was cool is you can choose music for each attraction that you have going on.
So you can make your Aerosmith roller coaster?
Well, you could, but you can choose your own music.
Well, you could, but why would you do that?
I don't hate Aerosmith, so you could if you want. But what I'm trying to get at is you can pick your own music library. So
oh, that's cool. So it's not just what's pre-selected.
Someone like Chris could totally make a Mario-themed theme park and put all sorts of ridiculous, video game themed rides. He could put the Donkey Kong theme for the Donkey Kong roller coaster, the Mario theme for the Mario roller coaster, et cetera, et cetera. You want a video game merry-go-round? By all means, you can do that. And
Instant
I don't know.
download. Instant download.
Purchased.
Already purchased. Already downloaded. Building the park right now.
I don't know. Just to be honest, I thought it was a really cool game, and to be honest, it's something I could sit back and just relax and play. I don't need to get all pumped up about it and get 360 no scope over it and call everyone noobs and whatnot. It's just a simpler game, and it's something I can enjoy and just take at face value, which. Again, I've said it before, to be honest, I don't really get that often anymore. A lot of things that I play are all multiplayer. They're kind of intense and whatnot, and while that's fun to an extent, sometimes I just like to relax, and this is a perfect example of how I like to relax, playing a nice game about building a theme park and watching people enjoy it. And yeah, it made me happy.
Every now and again, I just want to play Mahjong.
Dean, have you played Kerbal Space Program?
I have, and I'm not gonna lie, I can't bring myself to buy it because I'm afraid I will spend 50, 60,000 hours
yes, you would.
Trying to.
But look, I got to the moon.
Exactly. I saw Markiplier play it, and I can't bring myself to buy it because I'm afraid it's not going to end well. I went by my friend's house and I played it, and we played for like 4 or 5 hours. We drank like a tankard full of beer, and at the end of the night I was like, I need to go home. I drank too much and we still didn't get to the moon.
See, this is precisely why we are not PC gamers, because like the Steam sale would come around,
our lives would systematically fall apart.
Yeah, we would see shit on Steam and just be like, that's a dumb idea. I'm gonna buy that, because the game, like, you can get stuff for so cheap on PC. Whereas, like, with consoles, it's like, well, that's a $60 purchase for the most part.
Well, to be honest, Shadows of Mordor already went on sale on Steam like twice. It dropped like $25, and I was thinking about buying it. I just sort of held off because I'm kind of waiting to get a PlayStation to buy it.
Yeah, that game's supposed to be really dope.
Yeah,
I haven't played it.
Yeah,
but...
but back to the point. If you got an extra $20 and you want the simulator that really started it all, pick up Rollercoaster Tycoon. It's a perfect example of like what a simulation game can be when it's not ridiculously obscure.
Was it like? Didn't it seem like there was a time, like maybe
there
like 10 years ago, where every type of tycoon you could
Zoo
be?
Tycoon and Carnival Tycoon and Boardwalk Tycoon and
Brothel Tycoon, which is my favorite.
Circus Sideshow Tycoon.
Tycoon.
You could say that about anything, the things come and go in fads and waves, and I mean, you could take Call of Duty, for instance. Shooters have kind of fallen out of graces, and really all that's left is Call of Duty and Battlefield now. There's not really that many shooters out anymore besides those two that come out on such a, year-to-year basis. It's kind of slimmed down. Again, just if you want something awesome to play and, you don't want to break the bank on it, but you want a solid, good simulation game, this is going back to the grassroots of simulation games, and this is one that I don't think anyone should pass up for $20.
Outstanding. All right. Well, we're going to move on to me. My game of the month should surprise absolutely no one. It is Super Smash Bros. For Wii U.
Really?
I know.
Did that come out? I didn't even
know.
Chris, I would have thought you would have said something. I mean, you're supposed to be up on all this Nintendo stuff.
Yes, I was late to the game. It was pretty late release. No, I'm actually kind of bummed because I didn't reserve it, so I didn't get the fancy edition that comes with the GameCube controller and the GameCube adapter, and apparently those are done. Like, that's it. Game over. They're not making them anymore. The world is over. It was just for that first initial shipment and those people that pre-ordered it, and even though there's, like, insane demand for the things, nobody's got them.
That's all right.
That's depressing because I actually just found out yesterday that the GameCube controller was a thing, and I was like, ooh, I want that. And now here you are 24 hours later telling me I can't have it. Awesome.
It's all right. We'll be able to buy it on the black market for $500 later.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I'm sure we could just get an adapter for my GameCube controller.
Yeah, they're going for well over $100 on eBay right now. But I mean, clearly we've talked a lot about Smash on this show. The things that strike me about the Wii U version are just how gorgeous it is. It's so pretty, so well detailed, so just chock full of content and trophies and music and stages, and it's just so wonderfully done. And I mean, I've been hearing a lot of mixed reviews about the online as far as that one's concerned. I played a few matches online. I didn't have any problems. It just kind of strikes me as one of those things like, oh, Smash Brothers is going to have shitty online, so we're going to talk about it because, Call of Duty launched and shit, crashes and it's just like flash in the pan, or, Halo comes out and all the matchmaking is broken and yeah, no, whatever. No, Smash Brothers is online is terrible? No, it's terrible. It's the worst thing ever, dude. You can't do online. It's terrible. It's awful. It's like, all right, guys, just, calm your tits. it's okay. I mean, it just kind of seems like it depends on your connection, but I mean, it's also a fighting game, and it's trying to maintain a 60 frames per second thing. I don't know. It's super fun game. The main thing I wanted to talk about that I thought was really cool. They did this in Smash Brothers Brawl, but it's really nice to see how they did it in this one too, because they incorporated some of the third-party games as the masterpieces section, where you can go and play snippets of the games that these characters came from. Like you can play like a minute of Donkey Kong, or first couple of stages of Super Mario Brothers, or Pac-Man, or Wily's Castle from Mega Man 2, and it's just it's so cool that kind of stuff, that kind of service to the past, and naturally they have it linked directly to the eShop, so you can download these games immediately from playing them in Smash Brothers. But no, I'm floored by this game. I'm looking forward to playing more of it. I haven't played nearly enough of it because of the move and having to pack things up. But now that we're starting to get ourselves settled, I can't wait to really sink my teeth into, beating all the challenges and trying all the wacky stages, unlocking the rest of the characters, and eventually getting Mewtwo and the soundtrack CDs. And it's just, I guess I spent so much time on the 3DS version. I mean, I played the garbage out of that game, and I'm already like chomping at the bit to do the same thing again on the Wii U. And it was a tough call because I mean, Super Smash Bros. Is amazing, but the new Mario Kart DLC is also amazing. But I got to give my nod to Smash Brothers. It was just between that and the amiibos that I don't have any money for, that I really wish I could buy all of them and just dump them on my floor and roll around in them, because they just look amazing.
Painful. They are plastic.
Yeah, that sounds
true.
like it hurts.
Yeah, you know what else it would be? Worth it.
Sure. Not arguing that point.
Swirl around with a bunch of links with the strange P line that they got going out of there. Have you seen the final designs on some of these amiibos?
Oh, I got a bone to pick with them tomorrow. We'll have a video up pretty soon about that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, some of them look phenomenal. Like the Link one is really cool looking, except the way that they have it standing up is with this thick yellow bar. So it looks like it's a pillar of urine that's holding him up, which is just, it's so strange. And he's also always looking down.
Well, they are a Japanese company.
Well, yeah, haha, Dan, that's real funny. But yeah,
Just saying.
Arya did pick up the first run of all of them, and we're gonna do a whole video on each one tomorrow.
He picked up all of them? That crazy bastard. I love him and hate him at the same time.
Arya is a Nintendo enthusiast. He did happen to pick them up all, and he says that they're not what Nintendo showed at, I guess it was E3 they showed them all for the Nintendo Direct.
Oh, yeah, well, those were all, like, concept art ones. Yeah, they were all the prototypes. Like, nobody expected them to mass market them with that level of detail. I mean, there's friggin' embossing on Princess Peach's dress. Like, those, oh, God, I wish those things were the real ones.
Of course, but they're still severely lackluster. And there's a few other things, like you can only save that specific statue with one save file. And so if you want to take, say later on, they make another Mario Kart game, and you want to use that specific statue, you have to delete as of right now, you have to delete your Smash Bros. File or whatever file you have saved on there to make room for the new file. Again, that's as of right now, and there's only one game available for these things, so, who knows, there might be some sort of partition where, you can do more than one or transfer it onto your hard drive and upload it later. They, again, this is new tech, so...
I would say chances are what they're going to do with this is just release new amiibos, because these are the Smash Brothers amiibos. These are all designed. They all say Smash Brothers on their labels. They're all designed after the Smash Brothers art.
Yeah, but they're a little pricey to have to get a new one for every game.
$13 is a big price point for a little
Skylanders, man. Skylanders and Disney Infinity.
Yeah, and that's why we don't have those. Yeah, but if you... I don't know.
But the other side of it is that, yeah, these are the Smash Brothers one, and that's the one that the information gets saved on. But at the same token, Hyrule Warriors, every single amiibo does something for Hyrule Warriors, even the ones that have nothing to do with Legend of Zelda. The amiibos that are the characters that unlock in Mario Kart, Captain Falcon, Fox, Kirby. If you have those amiibos, you just tap it on the thing and you unlock character profiles and costumes in Mario Kart. They're compatible with Captain Toad's treasure trackers. These things are compatible with multiple games, and they're not going to require you to delete information or anything like that.
Do the save
these are, yeah, these things are these are the Smash Brothers ones, so that you can use them as your Smash Brothers amiibos, like that character. I have a Link amiibo in my Smash Brothers, so that's going to be the character. I scan this in there, and then that character is going to learn to fight like me, and you can use them as sparring partners and all that stuff. But, if they come out with another game that's going to require that kind of information, it'll probably just be, you'll get a different one for that game if they're going to utilize it to that extent. I mean, shit, they do this with Skylanders every year, and those things cost $15 a pop. So, I mean, as far as what the product that you're actually getting and how useful they are, I think it's a very decent value proposition, because... bottom line is, these are Nintendo figurines that haven't existed before. These are little miniature statues of varying quality. Some of them look great, some of them look alright, but they're still little Nintendo characters that you can buy. And they're, $12.99, something like that,
yeah,
and you can use them. You can use them in a bunch of different games. So I think the value proposition on amiibos right now is very cool, especially if you're a figure collector, and the things that you can do with any single one. I mean, some of them are more useful than others, and that's the other thing that gets a little funny. Wii Fit Trainer is good in Smash Brothers and Hyrule Warriors, because that's it. And the Hyrule Warriors one is just tap any amiibo and you'll unlock something. So that's kind of the way that works. But I think it's a value proposition. I think they're just fine. I think there's some weird decisions that must have been made way late into the process of coming up with these amiibo characters. The design, going with the Smash Brothers artwork that they did was so foolish, because they had to do all these weird stands and stuff for the characters to make them exactly like the concept art for Smash Brothers, like the Link one that we were talking about with the weird yellow bar, and it's obvious they just had yellow plastic left over, so that's what they used instead of clear. But it looks so strange, and he's always kind of facing downwards.
Down.
Yeah, unless you have him on a high shelf, you don't even see his face. But then you get something like the Samus one, which I think looks great. Samus looks brilliant. All the cartoony characters like Yoshi, Kirby, they look spot on. Peach looks alright. Fox looks pretty great. Wii Fit Trainer and Animal Crossing Villager look just fine. I mean...
Did you see the misprint for Samus where she's got double arm
cannons? Yeah, she's got 2 arm cannons.
Did you see how much that sold for?
No.
On eBay?
I saw it up to $300. How far did it go?
$2,500.
My God. People are crazy.
For a misprint? I guess, it's a one-off, but that's crazy money.
Yeah, but think of how ineffective that would be if you didn't... I'm just running around with 2 guns. I can't pick anything up.
I can't pick anything. Good thing all the doors in the Metroid universe are used open weapons shooting them.
That's a fair point, actually.
Yeah, but you could explode it with your double arm cannons.
I think any problem can be solved with double arm cannons.
Except maybe Toast. Toast would be a difficult problem to solve with double arm cannons.
Blow it the fuck up.
Yeah, but then you wouldn't have Toast anymore.
Just shoot your gun a whole lot and then just point the heat left over on your gun at Toast.
perfect.
And then you take off your helmet, flop on the floor, and just eat it off the floor with your mouth.
And then periodically lick a stick of butter.
Exactly.
That actually leads to...
Just get you have to get the butter beam. It's a...
the butter beam?
Oh, it's an upgrade.
You have to get the butter beam upgrade for your arm cannon.
that actually leads to a somewhat interesting segue, just as a quick aside. The people that made Surgeon Simulator have an alpha out right now for a new game called Bread. And your goal, you play as a piece of bread, and your goal is to toast yourself. And you don't have a life bar, you have like an eatability or deliciousness meter.
A crispy
and
stick.
as you like walk around and try to fling yourself into the toaster, you get dirtier and dirtier, and your like deliciousness meter drops down, and like that's
no one wants to eat dirty toast.
Spoilers, that's going to be my game of the month next month, because how the fuck could you not love playing as a piece of bread trying to get into a toaster?
Mine might be Surgeon Simulator, because didn't that just go on sale or go up free or some nonsense on the PlayStation Store?
I digress.
Now, did you see the Animal Crossing villager misprint?
No.
No. Did he come with an axe and blood? Because that's the only thing I can think of with him.
His arms are on backwards, so they're all bent in these like horrible twisted positions. It's
nightmare fuel.
Exactly, it's a nightmare. It's so freakish. There was a fox misprint that doesn't have the scouter thing on his eye too, which is whoop-de-doo. And those are going for stupid money on eBay too. But yes, so Smash Brothers for Wii U is my game of the month. For November. I love the heck out of it, and I can't wait to stick my teeth further into it. So. Let's move on to the last and certainly least, Dan.
You beautiful bastard, you. So yeah, as Tiff said, we picked up the Wii U, and I was actually really excited to get it because
we really didn't pick it up. Someone brought it to us.
Yeah, well, fair enough. I've been on record as saying that I was really disappointed in the Wii previously. I loved the GameCube, didn't love the N64. So I kind of seem hit or miss with Nintendo systems, like every other. Yeah, every other. So the Wii U I was really excited for, and one of the games that we got with the bundle deal that we got was Mario Kart 8. And we played a little bit of the Mario Kart on the Wii. I didn't love it. I did like Double Dash a little bit for the GameCube, but this one, Mario Kart 8 in particular, is really, really good. It's really awesome. I am shocked at how pretty this game is. Like, for a silly kart racer, and Mario Kart is nothing if not silly. I mean, you have a Piranha Plant power-up, for Christ's sake, that just eats shit
really
as
like
you're
that
driving around.
That one's exciting.
It's a really just gorgeous game.
You're going to stop loving this game as soon as we find a remake, so I start playing against you and whooping that ass.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
I don't even know what to say now. I'm so intimidated. The Bowser level in particular, the Luigi's Mansion level, and the new Rainbow Road are just absolutely gorgeous stages. And there's a lot of really cool things that are done with them, like with the motion and changing the perspective of the races as you're driving, like driving up on the walls and
the gravity
effects. Like, there's just a lot of really, really cool stuff in there that I'm really happy about and really kind of excited to drive through over and over again.
And the throwback levels are pretty awesome. Like every level kind of harkens back to a previous edition of Mario Kart, but it's like super upscaled, fabulous.
Yeah, and I really like that.
Moo Moo Meadows, the Wii Moo Moo
so
Meadows
good.
is so nice. The Super NES one, the Donut Plains.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
so
I
nice.
love that stage so much. And the music, holy heck, the music is all performed by live bands.
Yeah, it's great.
And it's just, you can see these great YouTube videos of them recording the music. It's stunning.
That was one of the first things I said when we were playing it. I said that make sure you pay attention to this music, because I'm pretty sure Chris is going to end up picking one of these tracks for Chiptune Trivia eventually, because they're really, really good. I also really like the fact that when you play the old school levels, they tell you what game they came from. Mm-hmm. Like, there's a little DS next to it, or an N64 or whatever. Because, like I said, there's a lot of shit that I've missed in Nintendo's catalog. So it's pretty cool to see like, oh, this was from the DS one, or oh, this was the Super Nintendo one, and then I have to think back of, all right, well, I was like 12 when that shit came out, so I sort of remember this, and then you play through and you're like, wow, this is just, like you said, the Donut Plain stage is just really, really awesome and fun to play. They also do a lot of really cool stuff with, I forget what track it is, but one track in particular, as you're going around a bend, and you hit different levels of the track, you hit like music notes as you're playing through, and it kind of adds to the track.
I love that stage with the pianos and stuff.
That's just
that was in the 3DS one, I think.
Yeah,
and,
it's just really cool and really well done, and it's like Nintendo usually has this really high level of polish on their games, and this one seems to be almost above and beyond.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's got an extra little spit shine on it.
Yeah, and this was in particular a very important Mario Kart game for me, because the last few Mario Kart games, while have been fun, I bought all of them. I really enjoy the Mario Kart games, but starting a bit with Mario Kart DS, but really Mario Kart Wii and Mario Kart 7 had this very kind of sterile design to them.
Yeah, the Mario Kart Wii was kind of boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I love playing it with my wife, but
Sure.
I never really went completely insane over it like I did with Double Dash or even Mario Kart DS, which was also a really, really fantastic game. And I really, there was a lot to like about Mario Kart Wii. It had some great tracks, but there was something just kind of New Super Mario Brothers sterile about it, you know what I mean? And with the Wii U approach, I can say the same thing about New Super Mario Brothers. Like, I remember when they announced it, I was really like, oh, good. A New Super Mario Brothers game for Wii U. Like, of course I'm going to play it, I'm going to like it, I love Mario games, but the New Super Mario Brothers games have been very cookie cutter in their visual design. And then I played New Super Mario Brothers U, and it was leaps and bounds over New Super Mario Brothers Wii. It was just astronomically better. The map was the best one since Super Mario World. It was all just really well done. And this Mario Kart 8 really just took it to the next level with the presentation, the creativity in the track designs. I really like the anti-gravity thing. The DLC is phenomenal. Speaking of good value propositions, the DLC for Mario Kart, I pre-ordered both packs. The first one came out last month. It was so good, it's in the running for my Game of the Month. There's an F-Zero course that just makes me want an HD F-Zero so badly, because you get the DLC, and there's all this anti-grav, there's boost pads all over the place, so it goes super fast, and it's just Mute City. You're just rolling around in Mute City in Mario Karts, and it's
That's
amazing.
pretty killer.
And the way they treat it was, you got the coins back in this one, and the coins, the more coins you get, the faster your top speed is, and you lose coins and all that other jazz. There's no coins on the F-Zero track. Instead, the pink stuff that you float through to regain your health refills your coins. So cool. One of those stretches go along, you go in there and it just refills your coins. There's a Legend of Zelda course where all the coins have changed into rupees.
Nice.
And all the sound effects are different. So when you go through to get the question mark blocks, it sounds like Zelda sound effects instead of Mario Kart sound effects.
Nice.
There's a corridor you go through, because you go through a castle, and there's 3 switches that you can hit. And if you hit all 3 of them, the A Link to the Past unlock a secret thing happens, and a ramp shows up in the middle of the course, and you fly over like a giant Master Sword. It's
nice.
It's so clever. There's an Excite Bike course where it's randomly generated. It's just a loop, but there's always different Excite Bike ramps on it, and it's just super fun, and it's really indicative of how well they did that entire game. Really crazy impressive stuff.
Yeah, like I've always liked the Mario Kart games as like, yeah, this is fun. You get together, like we played it in college a little bit, and like I've played, since I had a Super Nintendo, and it's like, this is fun. I put it on, I have a good time when I'm playing it, but I've never had a Mario Kart game that I actively was like, I want to get home to play Mario Kart until this one. This one, I find myself actively sitting at work going, damn, I wish I was home playing Mario Kart right now, because that game's really fun.
Case in point, he traversed 2 flights of stairs up and down to go back over to the other house because we left our disc over there earlier.
Yeah.
And he got off the couch and went up 2 flights of stairs and then back down 2 flights of stairs and then reversed the process to get our disc. That's dedication.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is dedication. Well
I mean,
done.
I've been really impressed with everything on this system so far. I felt what you were describing, the sterility and the kind of mediocrity. I felt that with a lot of the Wii stuff. I felt like
it was safe.
I felt like Nintendo concentrated so much on the technology they forgot that they had to make the games good too. And Chris, I know that you would argue that, but I just felt that they just really didn't give it their all for the actual games on the Wii. And you know, the technology was really cool and revolutionary and exciting and all that, but that wears off. And at the end of the day, I need to be able to enjoy the game. And I feel like they really hit that out of the park with the Wii U. Is the technology is very impressive and it does really awesome things, but they also remembered to make really clever, fun, engaging games. And you can especially tell that in the new Mario Kart. And as important as it was for you, I think it was equally as important for Nintendo themselves, because I really kind of felt like they were using 8 as like their flagship for the Wii U of, look what we can do, isn't this fabulous? And oh, by the way, did we mention how pretty it is? And all those things that you didn't like about the last one we fixed. And
yeah, I really feel like with this one has made me feel like our purchase of a Wii U is purchasing a game system, whereas when we purchased the Wii, I feel like we purchased an entertainment system. And
yeah.
I have enough options for entertainment. When I buy a video game system, I want to play games.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to have friends over and do the party thing when you want to, but at the end of the day, I can buy Cards Against Humanity to entertain my friends at parties. I don't need to buy a whole system for that. The Wii for us was very disappointing because it did not fulfill our needs as a video game system. But the Wii U seems to have completely eliminated all those issues, and it's really, really impressive.
Yeah, like I'm really excited to get Captain Toad's treasure trackers.
Oh man, that game looks so fun.
I can't even think about anything until I have Splatoon.
Yeah, there's a lot that I'm really excited about.
I need it so bad. I'm going to wear my squid hat while I play Splatoon, and it's going to be the best thing that's ever happened to me, but besides the marriage and the children and all that stuff. But
right.
Splatoon!
Yeah, the thing about the Wii, and I mean, I brought it up with Mario Kart and New Super Mario Brothers. Like, I really enjoyed those games, but that was a definite thing that happened with a lot of their bigger releases, was that they had this kind of almost safe feeling to them. And what was unfortunate about the marketing of the Wii was that was the highlight. That was the stuff that everybody pointed to. I mean, Mario Kart Wii sold over 1 million copies last year.
Which
Think
is
about
insane.
That.
Yeah,
That's
it really
last
is.
year.
That's
It sold over 1 million.
dumb.
That's just psychotic.
It's not that good.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's Mario Kart, and it's good, but it's not
and you
Mario
could buy
Kart.
that
8
steering wheel.
You know.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but see, I thought the steering wheel was terrible. I think that's primarily why we didn't like that game, because the steering wheel was so... I found it so awkward and not effective. I thought
Yeah.
for sure the Wii was going to be the system for me, because I do not sit still when I play video games. I stand up, I walk around the room, I lunge, I twist, I try to do all of the things that I want my little dude on the screen to do. I cannot sit still. And
She double jumps. It's amazing.
I do. It's awesome. I do that like wall slide thing. It's awesome. But anyway, I thought that the Wii was certainly going to be the system for me, because here I can do all those things and it's actually going to help me instead of be a hindrance. And I found it so not that to be the case at all. I really, really hated that wheel a lot.
Yeah, the wheel is kind of a double-edged thing with me, too. Like, I was done with the wheel in a minute, and then I just plugged in my classic controller, and I was happy as a pig and poo. But the wheel was what got my wife playing Mario Kart in the first place. Like, she just wasn't interested in playing it with a controller. It was too daunting for her. So she picked up the wheel, and she started getting good with it. And then she started getting so good with the wheel, she was like, you know what, this isn't doing what's right for me, so I'm going to start playing with a classic controller. And now she goes toe-to-toe with me in Mario Kart 8. And that's because of that Wii wheel. I understand it, and it was a brilliant move on their part. It made them tons of money. But to the point I was getting to earlier was that those were the things like that and New Super Mario Brothers, those were the things that really made that system sell what it sold, but it was also what got the spotlight instead of... There's no reason for me that Super Mario Galaxy shouldn't have sold as well as New Super Mario Brothers, but it didn't. Galaxy 1 and 2 didn't sell as well as New Super Mario Brothers, not by a long shot, and those games are unbelievably well done. They're just, I mean, you look at the review scores of Galaxy 2, it was one of the highest reviewed games of the previous generation, and it earned every inch of that. The game is just spectacular. You've got the Punch-Out game that I lent Dan. You've got Sin and Punishment, Rhythm Heaven Fever. Theirs were really, really good gamer games on the Wii, and they didn't get the attention that they deserved because the Wii was presented as this, it's the thing that plays Wii Sports. And for some reason, the marketing Nintendo could not wrap their heads around marketing it properly as a gaming device as well. I mean, you had Metroid Prime Trilogy. I mean, Metroid Prime 3 in particular was this really excellent use of the motion controls in a Wii game. It was really, really smart and clever the way they had you use the pointer controls for the first-person shooter aspects of it, flicking the nunchuck to do the grapple beam. It just felt really good. The game was incredibly well put together, but it didn't sell what Metroid Prime did before, and I think it really came down to the marketing, because the marketing was these two little dudes and two little Asian guys in like this teeny tiny car saying, "We would like to play."
Yes, but while that may have been inappropriate marketing for actual gamers, and that may have been disappointing for you, that ridiculous marketing solidly won them the console wars without anybody noticing, because
it did, yeah.
That marketing is what got a Wii in almost every home in America.
Your mom has one.
My mom has one. Not only does my mom have one, but when I told her there was a new Wii, she was like, "Really?" And she hasn't touched her Wii in years. She probably hasn't touched it since 6 months after it came out, even though she got a pre-ordered one. My mother, of all people, got a pre-ordered Wii. And she probably hasn't touched it since 6 months after it came out. But she was all excited to hear that there was a new Wii. And I was like, I don't know that this one's for you. But
well, I mean, it's got Wii Sports in HD. And I can definitely attest to Wii Fit U as being a really good product. I mean, I'll swear up and down, I lost 60 pounds with the original Wii Fit and Wii Fit Plus. And Wii Fit U with the little Fitbit thing, the Wii Fit meter that you like clip on your belt and wear. It's just it's cool. I mean, I used mine so much the damn battery died. I got to get a new battery for my Wii Fit meter, but it's a really good product, and the fact that you can use it anywhere in the house because the gamepad is wonderful. But yeah, I really like the Wii U. I like that it seems to kind of sort of correct a lot of the mistakes that Nintendo made with the original Wii. I mean, we could dedicate an entire podcast to that, and
perhaps we should.
and perhaps we should, yeah, because I would, I'm definitely a Nintendo apologist, but I mean, I loved my Wii. I played the shit out of it. I later found out that I downloaded over $900 of games just through the download service, because there was that much worthy content on their online service, and the fact that almost nobody seemed to know about it was just baffling to me. Like, I would set up, was working in video game stores at the time, and I would always set up some download titles on the Wii, and people would come into the store and be like, "Oh, you can download stuff on the Wii?" And I'm like, "Oh, you've got to be kidding me! This is where half the great library is on this console, and nobody knows about it. It's just absurd."
Yeah, I think we mostly used ours for Netflix in the kids' room.
That's just crazy.
And we used it as a bathroom scale for a while until I got really tired of me getting fat every time I stepped on the scale, and then we traded that sucker in.
It felt so good when it no longer said, "That's obese." It was like, "That's overweight." I was like, "You're goddamn right, that's overweight." And then I made it say, "That's normal." And I felt like a superhero. When that thing finally said, "That's normal," it was like the best day of my life. I loved it. But I digress. We've discussed this topic for way too long.
Yeah, short story long, Mario Kart 8 is good.
Yes, Mario Kart 8 is good. So let's take ourselves a quick break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to do our little 60-second tributes to our secondary game of the month, and then we're going to call it a night, so stick around. that was a short break, huh? All right, so we're gonna do a quick round around the room because I can't speak because it's late. But yeah, we're just gonna do a quick run around the room. Each of us has 60 seconds to talk about one other game that we were impressed by that we played in the month of November. So we're gonna do the same order that we went in before. We're gonna start with Tiff. And 3, 2, 1, go.
I have been playing Alice, The Madness Returns. Is that what it's called? I did not play the original, which is surprising because Alice in Wonderland is one of my very favoriteest things in the history of all time ever. Around that time, I was getting a little disenfranchised with the hot topicness that was happening around Alice in Wonderland. And I will say that this Madness Returns is still a little hot topic-y. There's a lot of collecting teeth and black stockings and whatnot. But I'm trying to ignore that part, and it is pretty fun so far. I'm enjoying the nods to the source material, things like the Duchess and the pressure of 60 seconds. I don't even remember now, but I'm excited about things that are in it that were just in the book. Oh, the Mock Turtle, and so I'm just trying to get past the hot topicness. But it is really, really surprisingly pretty. Like I find myself not completing objectives because I'm just walking around looking at stuff. So then I have to go back and find the things that I'm actually supposed to find. So, yeah, yay. Alice. I'm done.
Chris?
Shit, I'm on mute. Damn, I had the timer go off and everything. It's Magnet Man stage for Mega Man 3. No, you only went over by like 4 seconds, so. Yay. Good job. All right, Alice.
Well done.
Yay. Okay, Dean, you're up next, and I'm not going to be on mute this time, so you'll actually be able to hear the timer when it goes off. So, 3, 2, 1, go!
Okay, so I like tower defense games. I love them, so I ended up picking up another tower defense game this week, but I bought it on Steam. It's actually, you can buy it on the iOS if you want, or Android. It's called Kingdom Rush. I love this game. It's super simplistic. There's only 4 different towers you can get, but they branch off in multiple directions the more you upgrade them. Also, you get one hero that you can command through the battlefield as like a overcharged sort of like mobile tower type deal, and it's really, really cool. You'll get more of them as you go through the game. There's a whole different scenario pack that you can, I think, unlock when you buy the full game, which is great. It's only $10. I would recommend it for anyone who just likes tower defense games. I love them personally, and I couldn't recommend this one enough. It's super colorful, a lot of action going on, and so many different towers to choose from. So pick that up if you can. Again, that's Kingdom Rush.
Wow. All right. 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and yeah. I love that song. Yeah, wow, good job, Dean. Came in a few seconds under. All right, let's see how I do. I'm up next, and 3, 2, 1, go. All right, my game is Picross E for the 3DS. Since we packed up the Wii U and everything, my wife, she's been playing an awful lot of Mario's Picross on her 3DS because she downloaded it. It's only a couple of bucks. Mario's Picross, we've talked about it on the show before. It's like a picture crossword thing. You've got a grid. There's numbers on the top and there's numbers on the side. It's kind of like playing Minesweeper, except you're drawing a really cool picture with it. And Picross E is this series of versions of Picross on the 3DS that are just, here's a ton more Picrosses. Go nuts. There's 5 different versions of it, which is crazy because I'm still working on the first one. So for a couple bucks a piece, I'll be able to get Picrosses for years. I'll be Picross crazy for the rest of my life, and nothing will ever stop me. They're a couple dollars a piece. There's kind of a sterile presentation to them. They're not all that interesting to look at, but the gameplay itself, it's just like the coolest puzzle thing around. It's so much fun. I can't say enough good things about Picross. It's a great puzzle, and you should go buy all the Picrosses. And I'm out of time. All right. Picross. Go me.
Oh, Magnet Man.
Love that song. It's my favorite Mega Man song. All right, Dan, it's your turn.
Yeah. So last month, one of the free PS4 games was the Binding of Isaac Rebirth.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's so goddamn weird. Like it may be the weirdest game I've ever played. Like it's based on the biblical story of Isaac, and the game starts off with like your mother hearing the voice of God and like God telling your mother to kill you, and you run into your bedroom and like lose your clothes for some reason, and
because reasons.
yeah, you know, and like find a trapdoor in your bedroom that like you've never noticed before, and you go down in the trapdoor. And then the game becomes this weird twin stick shooter where you control a little naked baby. Like, you don't see any bits or anything, but like the kid is clearly naked. And you run around and like shoot your tears at all these weird, crazy monsters and like poo demons. And it's really strange. And there's really messed up power ups. Like, you get needles that stick into the back of your head that like make you go faster. God damn it, I'm out of time. It's the weirdest game ever.
Wow, Binding of Isaac. Yeah, I've never played it.
Yeah, whoever made this game needs extreme amounts of therapy.
Yeah, like, just watch a Let's Play of The Binding of Isaac. It is the strangest goddamn game I've ever played.
I sort of feel
it's
like
fun.
somebody should be arrested. It's like I feel like I'm like witnessing the inside of a serial killer as we watch this game. It's like, okay.
It's one of those indie games that you play and you go, I don't know if indie games are the best idea.
That was Team Meat, wasn't it? That's the same crew that did Meat Boy, right?
I have no idea. It made me want to go back and play, like, I'm just going to go play Madden. Because that's, I know what happens there.
I'm going to go wash my brain out with Madden for a while.
Very strange.
All right, well, that's going to pretty much wrap up our show. Dean, why don't you give us the regular end-of-show spiel?
Well, guys, if you're interested in checking out more of our stuff, contacting us, or just checking out any of the content on the website for that matter, you can go ahead and find all the links right below in the show notes. That has our email, all the links to our Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, and the links to the website, and a nice contact us link as well. So remember, if you need anything at all or any information, check out the show notes below.
Cool. Thank you very much for that extraordinarily informative blurb there, Dean. We love you and what you do. Okay. All right. Well, that was extraordinarily silly. We're going to call it a night and think about naked children shooting tears at demons, and it's going to be wonderful. So thanks, everybody, for listening. Thank you, Dean, Dan, and Tiff, for being on the show as usual. And tune in next week for some super fun trivia games, because that's what we're going to be doing in week 2 from now on. Like I said, we're working on this schedule thing. So week 2 of the month is going to be trivia games, and I've got some diabolical things planned for our co-hosts here. So on behalf of everybody here at Geek Life and the Stone Age Gamer, have a great night.
Want more information about our shows? Dock your web browser at geeklife.com.
Oh, Lord. I'm going to have nightmares. Sweaty, fleshy nightmares.